Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Vadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. I want to say Shalom to Akim and Akwal out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's going to be titled, Are You Fearing the Most High, or something along that line, alright? And that's exactly what this lesson is going to be getting in on, alright? Is remembering to fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, alright? Because you don't want to ever get to a point where you're too comfortable in this thing, alright? And you're not fearing Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai anymore, okay? You're following after your own lust and stuff and all that. You don't want to get to that point, okay? You want to have that fear steady, alright? It's good to have a healthy amount of fear and faith, alright? You don't want to get so much into that, on that faith side, so to speak, where you think that you're invincible, alright? And then you don't want to become over-righteous, alright, and think you're invincible, alright? Because the Most High could take out whoever He wants to take out, alright? Now this is Deuteronomy 32 and 39, alright? And it reads, "See now that even I am He, and there is no God with me." Okay? "I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." Okay? So you got to realize Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, it kills and makes alive. All right? It isn't all just about making alive. All right? Now, if you're in this truth and you're pursuing this thing, diligently, and you're in this thing sincerely, all right, and you're following to the best of your abilities, all right, that can be used to heal you and make you alive, all right. But if you're going off, all right, and you're committing iniquity, all right, sin upon sin, all right, and you're living out in the world, okay, He can take you out just as easily, all right. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand, all right. So that means that no man is going to be able to help you, all right. Your uncle, all right, your dad, your mom, all right, they're not going to be able to help you, all right. When the judgment's coming down, all right, you're not going to be able to run to your mama, all right. Ain't going to be able to happen, all right. She ain't going to be doing nothing, all right. And if she ain't even in this truth, all right, she might not even be there for you to run to, okay. So you gotta, the person you gotta put your trust and all your faith into is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right. Because like it says here, He's the one that can kill you. He's the one that can make you alive. Alright, and He's the only one that can deliver you out of certain situations. Alright, He's the only one that can help you, essentially. Okay, no man is going to be able to help you. Alright, this is Hebrews 10 and 31. "It is a fearful thing to fall in the hands of the living power." Okay, so you got to remember, alright, you just got to drive that in. We got to drive that in, alright, that you can't get too comfortable at any point in time. Okay. Like I said, you got to have a steady mixture of faith and fear, all right? You can't have too much of one thing or too little of one thing, all right? Because then it'll set the whole balance off, all right? If you fear too much, all right, that's gonna impair your faith, okay? And if you have faith too much, you're not gonna have any fear, and you're gonna become over righteous, all right? It happens all the time, okay, with people coming over righteous, all right? And you don't want to become that, because that when you become over righteous like that transfers over into pride, all right. And we all know what happens to prideful people, all right. They get destroyed. Now, one more 1 Samuel 2 and 6 to drive that point from the other verse a little bit more in. It says, "The Lord killeth and maketh alive; He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up." Okay, so remember that. All right, He brought you into this thing, like your mom used to say, your dad used to say, usually your mom, all right, and she would say, I brought you into this thing, I can take you out, all right. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is the real one that can do that, all right. He brought you into this thing, He can take you out, and that's talking about life-wise and in the faith, okay. In this truth, all right, you're in this truth, all right. No matter how long you've been in this thing, you could be in this thing, 10, 20 years, okay. And if you're doing something that the Most High doesn't approve of, all right, or if you're not destined to be elect, He could take you out of the faith, all right, not necessarily kill you, but if He takes you out of the faith, that is essentially killing you as well, all right, because if you bug out now, all right, with the times coming, it's not gonna be good for you. All right. Now this is Psalms 111 and 10. All right. It reads, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do His commandments. His praise endureth forever." So if you're Slakia, if when you fear Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that's the beginning of wisdom. Okay, so when you first come into this thing, that's one of the first things you got to learn is fear. Okay, especially if you're transferring over from Christianity, because Christianity, their doctrine has you on that white Jeebus shit. All right, and when white Jeebus, all right, is just a chump. Okay, not Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but white Jeebus, this false idol these Christians worship. Okay, he's a chump. Okay, you can pretty much do anything in the Christian doctrine. All right, and Jeebus won't do nothing to you. All right, he won't do anything. All right, you'll just be able. All you got to do is pray and move on. That's it. Okay. Now, in the true truth, all right, when you're in the real truth, all right, and worshiping Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, you know that's one of the first thing you learn when you would come in is that Yahweh Shem Yahushai is not that person. All right, if you mess around, all right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai will take you out with that like that saying, fuck around and find out. All right, yeah, in this thing, fuck around and find out. Okay, it ain't gonna be good for you. Okay, so the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, because when you fear Him, you start to understand. All right, you start to understand. All right, this isn't just like the Christian doctrine. Okay, a lot of the stuff that's in the Holy Bible, all right, that our elders have taught us, all right, goes back to fear. It goes back to fear. All that goes back to fear. If you look at all of the punishments that happened throughout the Bible, those people didn't have any fear. They didn't have any fear. If you go back to the time Moses, okay, when he was telling everybody there's a great flood coming, get on the ark, and they didn't have any fear, even though Moses said that the Most High told him that this was going to come. They scoffed. They said, "Oh, we don't have rain like that. There ain't going to be no flood." And then they died in their disbelief. All right, they died because of their lack of fear, essentially. All right, they didn't have any fear of the Most High. They didn't think He was going to do anything like that. Okay. So the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do His commandments. All right, so all the people that are doing His commandments to the best of their ability, all right, when you're in this truth, okay, have a good understanding. All right, a good understanding have all they that do His commandments. His praise endureth forever, not just for a little bit, okay, forever. Now this is Ecclesiasticus 11 and 14, also Sirach 11:14. All right. This is it reads, prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come from the Lord. And Slakia, I think it's Ecclesiastes that actually goes back to Sirach. Slakia. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. Okay, so if you're prosperous, all right, which you really won't be in this time, all right, but prospering in the truth, all right, essentially, comes from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, adversity comes from Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, if you die, the Most High did that. All right, if you're still alive, the Most High did that. If you're rich, all right, poverty and riches. If you're rich, the Most High did that. If you're poor as hell, all right, you only got a box of Kraft macaroni in the cupboard, all right, the Most High did that. All right, if you ain't got no food at all, the Most High did that. All right, it's all to teach you something. Okay, you got to look at these things in a wider spectrum and not be in that woe is me. All right, especially if you're in the poverty. All right, a lot of us are in poverty. All right, we're Jake. We all been through poverty at some point in our life. Okay, I know I went through poverty. I was poor as hell growing up. All right, but that was all work of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, to teach us lessons. All right, and it might benefit you in the end. All right, say if you were if you always was rose up poor as hell. Okay, he was rose up poor as hell. And got used to not eating much, that might benefit you when the end comes, all right, and the famine hits. Okay, you might be used to not eating much, so you might be like, all right, I'm fine. I can go like a day or two without eating. okay? But like, the people that are, abundantly rich in the goods of Babylon the Great, all right, and have all this food and unlimited amounts of food, and they stuff themselves and gorge themselves and become these fat ass blobs you see rolling around in the Walmart, all right, using a fucking mobility scooter and shit. All right, you become one of these people. They won't be able to go like like a whole day without eating. They'll start freaking out. There's gonna be some of these people that they can't even deal with day one when the famine hits and the judgment starts coming in Jacob's trouble. All right, they're gonna end up eating their dog day one. All right, and be hungry the next day. Okay. So prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. Okay, they come from Yahweh Shem Shai, and they are there for a reason. Okay, so you can't get in that spirit where you're like, why me? Why is this happening to me? Okay, there's a reason for it. All right, and it's most likely to benefit you. All right, teach you a lesson. Okay, or maybe you were going off and it's just a punishment for the time being, and you'll get out of that. All right, or maybe it's not, and maybe you're just being tried. All right, because we all have to be tried. Okay, the only person that knows what's going down for a reason is Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, we can only stipulate on that situation. Okay, there's times when when these situations start coming on you. All right, when you think did I go off? Did I do something wrong? Is Yahweh Shem Shai mad at me? You start thinking all these things, and that could be the case. You could have done something that made him mad. All right, so he's just setting you through something. All right, or it could be a case where he's just trying you, all right, to better you for the situations that you're to come to, all right. So you can't always be in that woe is me spirit and feeling down, all right. But you do have to fear Yahweh Shem Shai, because he could do anything to you at any moment, all right. And it's a fearful thing. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hands of living power, okay. I'm sure we all have at least one or two situations, all right. The brothers that are in this truth and the sisters that are in the truth as well, all right, that they felt that heat of the Lord. Okay, they felt that heat of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, and I know I had that. All right, when you're messing around, okay, and you're doing stuff that you're not supposed to do, you always get a couple of those big ones. Okay, a couple of those big ones where you know that, oh man, I messed up. All right, and this is the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right, and we've only experienced on this side, all right, a touch of it. All right, even if you full on went and got killed, like if you go back to Juice WRLD, all right, with that judgment, all right, that's not even the worst that Yahweh Shem Shai can do. You got to realize this power, all right, Yahweh Shem Shai, all right, these powers, they can do so many things to you that you can't even fathom. Okay, you got to realize Yahweh Shem Shai, all right, they created the world itself, all right, and these Edomites, you always hear them thinking, like a video I did a while back, they were talking about, I was talking about that guy that got out of IUIC, all right, and he fell out of the truth, all right, and well, half truth, all right, because we all know IUIC has some funky doctrines, all right, but to the point where he knew he was an Israelite and all that, and now he's rejecting it. He or she, I'm not sure what they were, all right, and they said that one of the things that they were taught was that Moab, all right, so-called Chinese people were going to go into captivity, all right, and they were going to be low, and that goes for all of the heathen nations, okay. But someone in the comments said, the Moabites being Chinese, you're talking about the Chinese, one of the largest populations on earth, is going to be taken out and wiped out, all right, on this side. Which on this side, yeah, they're going to come back in the kingdom, all right, and serve their slavery, all right, but they were saying that they're going to be wiped out, the largest population. Yeah, man, they're going to be wiped out. The largest population, and they're not even the largest population. The largest population is Jake, which these fucking idiots don't seem to understand. All right, just because you don't see a black man walking down the street on every single different street. All right, our people, all right, the Negroes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Jakes. All right. A lot of us live in Jake communities. All right, we're all packed into one bunch. All right, we don't want to be living out with a bunch of crackers. Okay, so that's just how it works. You're not even in those places, and you got to realize the consensus that they do, where they do the head counts of the houses. A lot of Jakes don't even opt in on that shit. All right, a lot of them just tell them, nah, I'm good, and move them on the way. That's it. So they don't even know how many Jakes are out there, and that's just for the ones that look like so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You got to look at all the light-skinned people, all right, or the yellow-skinned people, okay, walking around that are actually Jake, all right, but they're just speckled birds, all right. So they actually go back to the house all right, of Jacob, all right, the one of the 12 tribes, all right, of Israel. So all right, Jacob. They go back to them, all right, and they could look like a so-called Edomite. They could look like an Elamite, all right. They could look like an Ammonite or a Ishmaelite, okay, or Edomite even, okay. They could look like any of these nations, and you wouldn't even know. But they go back to Jake, all right, and you can tell by their spirit, okay. So again, moving on, went a little bit off topic, but that's what you got to realize, all right. Now, another thing that you got to understand is Psalms 9:16. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the works of his own hands. Again, Selah. Okay, so Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is known for the judgment which he executed. If you think, all right, if you think about all of the terrible things, not necessarily terrible, but the judgments, all right, that came upon, for example, Sodom and Gomorrah, all right, in the Bible, all right. If you look at these situations, all right, and all these different stories, all right, and accounts from the Bible, okay, there's a lot of judgment going forth, all right. A lot of people got judged, all right. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai is known by the judgment which he executeth, okay. So you can't just go off that Christian doctrine that it's that he's an all loving God, okay. First of all, he doesn't love everyone, all right. He only loves Jacob, all right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay. And this whole doctrine is not just love. All right, we aren't walking around, I love you, brother, you my brother, all right, I love you, you know, we love our brothers, that's true, all right, but this isn't a love doctrine, all right. You get those people on those love doctrines, and they're goofy as hell, man. They're goofy as hell. This isn't a love doctrine, this is a life doctrine. This is a doctrine about life, okay. And yeah, love is part of life, but for life, there's got to be an equal amount of everything. You got to have love, you got to have fear, you got to have trust, all right, you got to have all of these things. Okay, so the statement that they usually say JC is an all-loving God, or God is an all-loving God, it is not true. Yes, he loves us, that is true, but he's, you know, if you look at the technical definition of love, all right, and all the things, like when you were young, when you got your ass whooped, that was out of love, all right, because your dad didn't want you, you know, doing that situation again, getting yourself hurt, getting yourself locked up, all right, or having something befall you. That's the same with the Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right. These punishments come upon us because of the love, all right. But you can't just go out and go into the full love doctrine again, where you fall out of fear, all right, and you think that he's just not going to do anything to you, all right. You ain't special, all right. You're not. And we're a special people to him, but you yourself, you're not special, all right. Especially in the times that we're in now, all right. We're a lowly people right now, all right. And this okay, I'm moving on to Ecclesiasticus 39:28, all right? And you got to realize that if anything can happen to you, all right, and this is what this is getting on, all right, the Most High, I'll actually read the scripture first. Ecclesiasticus 39:28, there be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, and in the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. All right, they appease the wrath of him that made him, being Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right, Yahweh Shem Yahushai will set a hitman out on your ass. Okay, in simple terms. Okay, he can send a hitman after your ass. Okay, you see it happen all the time with those rappers getting dropped. All right, sitting at a stoplight, pulled up, get sprayed. All right, all these situations, those were spirits of vengeance. All right, and that was essentially a spirit that Yahweh Shem Yahushai said, look, I need you to do this. And nothing's going to change their mind at that point. They're locked down in that spirit of vengeance, all right? And they're going to go execute that judgment, all right? So, yes, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it won't be all the time where you just drop dead, or, you know, a lightning bolt shoots from the sky and hits you, or you get hit by a car or something like that. There could be certain people that like it says right here, spirits that are created for vengeance, that will literally just come and kill your ass, stab your ass, all right, shoot you up, all right, do all these different situations for you. You see it a lot in the rap community. All right, you see it a lot in all the Negro, Latino, and Native American communities, so-called. All right, you see it a lot. All right, and those are just spirits of vengeance. All right, that Yahweh Shem Yahushai sent after you. Okay, now, and let's see. Another situation here is watching your mouth. All right, another situation. This is just getting into fear in general. All right, you need to watch your mouth. All right, because actually, speaking of this, many more have fallen by the tongue. I think, roughly paraphrasing. All right, here it is. Ecclesiasticus 28:18. All right, it reads, "Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many has fallen by the tongue." All right, and that goes perfectly into this. Okay, so you got to watch what you're saying too. Okay, especially those scoffers out there saying, "Oh, the Most High this, the Most High that. Oh, the prophets this, the prophets that. The prophets ain't got the truth." All right, they're saying all these evil things. All right, and bearing false, and also bearing false witness. All right, saying stuff like because we teach that biblically, all right, men were able to get with younger women, all right, younger than today's standard. All right, they make up these they bear fault witness and say that GMS is a bunch of child molesters, which is not true. None of us have been with a kid. That ain't something we do. It's not saying to do that now. Quite the opposite. Don't do that now. All right, we're just saying that back then, biblically, all right, and when we go into the kingdom again, that won't be an unacceptable thing. All right, that's just a Babylonian thing. That because like this video I was watching. It's not this one I was watching, but not this earlier. He had a part where he said, a 4-year-old kid said that they're trans, all right, and they don't even understand sex at that age, all right, and that's perfectly normal and fine, all right. But if an older man, all right, gets with a younger kid, all right, now we're not talking about no babies here. We're talking about like whenever she bleeds, all right, so 14 on up, all right. Biblically, that was allowed, and now that's not allowed, okay, but you can go and be trans when you're 4 years old, okay. Now, anyway, so these people that bear false witness and these people that go off and say these terrible things, all right, and talk about Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in an ill manner, and talk about the prophets in an ill manner, these are the kind of things that are going to happen. This is Matthew 12:36 to 12:37. "But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment." All right, for by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. All right, so if you're saying these terrible things, all right, you're going to be condemned for that. All right, but if you're out there and you're spreading the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, and through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, spreading that word, all right, and he's using you as a vessel to wake not to wake people up, but to spread this word so that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai can wake them up if he so chooses. All right, you can be justified through that, but you can also be condemned. All right, so you got to watch your mouth too. It's not just by your actions; it's by your words. Okay, you got to think. Some of these situations, you got to translate into Babylonian things so Jake can understand. All right, because a lot of Jake's simple-minded. You got to think. If you go up and punch some dude, all right, yeah, you're gonna get your ass whooped. All right, but you got to realize if you run your mouth too, you can get your ass whooped just as easy. And that's the same thing with the Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. If you're out there doing dirt, you can get condemned. But also, if you're out there running your mouth, or if you're being a vocab Malone, you're going to get condemned just as well. Okay? So you got to watch your mouth, okay? You got to watch your mouth and you got to watch your actions. Okay? It's not just one or the other. You got to do both. And this is Baruch 4:1. Okay? I'm going to end off on this. It says, "This is the book of the commandments of our power, and the law that endureth forever." How long? Forever. It endureth forever, not just a little bit, forever. This is the book of the commandments of our power, and the law that endureth forever. And all they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. All right, so if you've had the opportunity, all right, and the blessing to come into this truth, and you keep it, you shall come to life. All right, but if you leave this thing, you're done. All right, so you got to keep that fear. You got to keep that faith. You got to keep believing, keep enduring. All right, and trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, and watch your steps. Okay. You don't want to have too little or too much of anything. It's got to be balanced. This thing's all about balance. All right. So Lord willing, that lesson was edifying. I'm gonna cut it there. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahushai, Ba'Hashem Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, that great millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. Shalom to you, brothers and sisters. Keep enduring, keep the faith. Lord willing, we'll be out of here soon, and Lord willing, to the next one. Shalom.